Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here for another video roundup, this time for the month of November in 2019. We've got 5 amazing games for you, so let's just get straight to it. Red Dead 2 is a story about the death of the Old West. You take control of Arthur Morgan, a man who belongs to an outlaw group called the Vanderlyn Gang. Having spent most of his life in the gang, Arthur has become disillusioned by the outlaw lifestyle. Still, Arthur can't see himself doing anything other than stealing and killing. Now, whilst you aren't shooting foes or wrangling horses, Red Dead Redemption 2 can be a serene, tranquil experience. Civilization is sparse, so you'll spend long stretches of time alone in the wilderness. That said, gunfights can happen at any moment, and it works exactly the same as it does in GTA 5. You take cover behind both natural and man-made objects, and pop opponents from relative safety. Weapons automatically lock onto enemies, so it's easy to get headshots by moving the aiming reticle slightly above a target's chest, in addition to using a .55 caliber pistol and rifles. You can dispatch foes by hurling dynamite and Molotov cocktails also. Besides the obvious improved graphics, one of the biggest PC perks is that Red Dead Redemption Online is available from the jump. But just remember, don't use any of the cheats available on the MTU on the online counterpart of the game, only use them on single player counterparts. And speaking of cheats, we have 12 amazing cheats for you on the MTU for Red Dead Redemption 2. Adding money, decreasing your bounty to nothing, infinite ammo, no reload, and infinite stamina for your horse and players. However you want to play, the MTU really has you covered on Red Dead 2. I've spent more time playing Jurassic Park Evolution and Zoo Tycoon more than I care to admit as a 35-year-old man. But that's definitely not going to stop me putting hundreds of hours into Planet Zoo. Planet Zoo comes with a wealth of content available right from the get-go. If you're looking for a structure, there's either the challenge mode where you can build a new zoo or run one of the scenario sites and work through a series of problems, or you can go straight into the career mode with a set path of tasks that take you through a slew of ready-made zoos. This is the perfect place to start for most players. There is a literal ton of things you'll need to get right if you're going to keep the animals in your zoo happy and content, from simply having a habitat that's large enough to accommodate them, to getting the correct mix of living conditions and terrain. Each animal has a specific set of needs that you have to accommodate, and a simple click on them will give you an immediate insight into the mind of aardvarks and lions alike. It's then generally a case of tinkering with a habitat to meet your animal's requirements, from making sure it's the right temperature, to populating it with the correct type of plant life, enrichment objects and constructs. Start getting things wrong though, and you're going to get a long line of protesters ready to take down your zoo, telling you that you shouldn't be caring for animals. And here's where the MTU comes in amazingly. You've got 19 awesome cheats that are all yours to use, from things like money, never hungry or thirsty, happy visitors to perfect visitors, and more. The MTU has got you covered to make your gaming experience the one that you want to play. Need for Speed Heat brings the franchise to Palm City, a location that riffs on the city of Miami as much as Los Angeles. I found it to be a location that lends itself to things fans respond to, like pretty views, vibrant colours and intriguing nightlife, and Need for Speed Heat reminds me of the old days, in that it's instantly accessible and happy to bend the rules. Now, Heat centres on a story about a racing tournament, another Forza Horizon nod that is average at best. It borrows from all over the place, Fast and Furious, cop movies, you name it. The players choose from a lineup of pre-made characters all looking to rule the street racing circus as you can imagine. The Palm City Police Force don't share these goals and scour the city streets in an attempt to bring your rise to an abrupt halt. And that's about the long and short of every single Need for Speed game. Does that make them bad games? No, of course not. Need for Speed Heat is actually one of the best Need for Speed games that I've ever played, at least in recent history. The cars feel responsive and good to drive, the graphics are beautiful, the city was amazing to navigate, and more customization options than you've seen in any other game. You can literally do whatever you want to the cars, and then share them to the community alike. And if you need an edge earning some more money to spend on these custom options, why not use the MTU? It's got 8 awesome cheats, things like refilling your nitro, infinite nitro, car god mode so it can never get damaged. You can even make your opponent's max gear the first one. As soon as you start your journey in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, you'll get the impression that Fallen Order understands and respects the hallmark of Star Wars. Intricate material details and cinematic framing litter each scene, watching the heavy rain as it trickles down and pools at the bottom of a vibrant roof, enjoying a glorious vista as the orchestra comes in. It feels very in tune with the movies and respectful of the source material. Now the main meat of Fallen Order is this lonely, exploitative attrition against the game's tricky enemies, which range from stormtroopers to fantastical bug rats and tomb defender mechanicals. You start the story as Cal, once a Padawan learning the ways of the Jedi. Cal is now working as a scrapper on the planet Bracca, his Jedi training a desperate secret right up until the day he betrays his own anonymity to save the life of his friend. The MTU that MegaDev offers makes this game more fun than it should be. Be prepared for things like Infinite Force and God mode, and even adding skill points to that oh so impressive skill tree. And the best one of all, infinite lightsaber energy. Guys, this one's a doozy, don't miss it, go and grab it now. So many of my colonists have died, and there's no one left to staff my burial pit. I'd like to say this was a one-off, but my experience in surviving the aftermath have taught me some very harsh lessons about life in the wastelands. It's miserable, unforgiving, and I can't stop going back for another go. Now you start with a small settlement and can tinker with your setup. Things like how barren the land is, how likely natural disasters are likely to happen, and that sets the difficulty. And once you have your happy little band of colonists, you're faced with the usual challenges, keeping them housed, fed, hydrated, and, twist, free of radiation poisoning, and safe from meteor showers. Now your role as a hapless colony caretaker means making decisions about who you let into the colony, how to settle fights, like punishing the aggressor or the instigator, or help both with precious medicine. Even things like deciding whether or not to deal with bandits, traders, and to give aid to people passing by. Your colonists will also want to go on their own little trips to hunt bear or search abandoned wagons, and your decision could be the difference between a haul of meat or a bunch of broken bones for your medical tent to deal with. Now if you want to make the game a little bit easier, or a bit more challenging if you're insane, the MTU has 36 cheats awaiting you. Things like max happiness, good temperature, and even no radiation, to the more hardcore and nightmare things like low health, thirsty, hungry, or tired, to -1 charisma, intellect, perception, or any of your base stat points. Trust me guys, the MTU is a must for this game, as it really adds to the experience. Sadly guys, that is all we've got time for this month in the video roundup of November 2019. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, let us know in the comments below what you enjoyed about it, and if you didn't, let us know why. If you did like it though, smash that like button, and I will catch you on the next video roundup. Ciao.